Asuta Shishiman, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Ki Jai, Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Sako Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath, Syama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai, Sri Jamunamaya Gangamaya Bhakti Devi, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Shri Gauranitai Ki Jai, Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ki Jai, Shri Shri Rukmini Dwarkadish Ki Jai, Nu Dwarka Dham Ki Jai, Gaur Premananda Haribol. All glories is some devotees. All glories is some devotees. All glories is some devotees. Jai Shri Shri Guru and Gaurango. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 9, Text 43, The Dynasty of Amsuman. Na me Brahma Kulat Prana. Is that what's wrong here? Oh, okay. You want me to read it anyway? Kula Daivan Nachat Majaha Na Shriyo Na Mahi Rajam Na Daras Chativalabha Name Brahma Kulat Pranaha Kula Daivan Nachat Maja Nashriya Namahi Rajam Nadaras Chativalavaha Name Brahma Kulat Pranak Kula Daivan Nachat Majaha Nashriyo Namahi Rajan Nadaras Chativalavaha Name Brahma Kulat Pranak Kula Daivan Nachat Majaha Nashriyo Namahi Rajam Nadaras Chativalavaha. Name Brahma Kulat Prana Kula Daivan Nachat Majaha Nashriyo Namahi Rajan Nadaras Chativalavaha. Name Brahma Kulat Prana Kula Daivan Nachat Majaha Nasya Hi Rajan Nadaras Chativalavaha. Name Brahma Kulat Prana Kula Daivan Nachat Majaha Nastriyo Namihi Rajyam Nadaraschati Valabha Name Prana Kulat Prana Kuladaivan Achatmajaha Shriyo Namehi Rajan Nadaraschati Valabha Name Brahma Kulat Prana Kuladaivan Achatmajaha Nasriyo Namehi Rajyam Nadaraschati Valabha Name Brahma Kulat Prana Kuladaivan Achatmajaha Nasriyo Namehi Rajan Nadaraschati Mataji's Name Brahma Kulat Prana Kuladaivan Achatmajaha Nasriyo Namehi Rajan Nadaraschati Valabha Name Brahma Kulat Prana Nadam Chatmaja Nasriyo Namehi Rajyam Nadaraschati Valabha Na, not, may, my, Brahmakulat, then the groups of Brahmanas, Prana, life, Kuladaivat, then the personalities worshipable for my family. Na, not, Cha, also, Atmaja, sons and daughters. Na, nor, Shriya, opulence. Na, nor, Mahi, the earth. Rajam, kingdom. Na, nor, Na, nor. Dara, wife. Cha, also. Ativalavaha, extremely dear. Translation. Maharaj Katvanga thought, not even my life is dearer to me than the Brahminical culture and the Brahmanas, who are worshipped by my family. What then is to be said of my kingdom, land, wife, children, and opulence? Nothing is dearer to me than the Brahmanas. Srila Prabhupada's purport. Maharaj Katvanga, being in favor of the Brahminical culture, wanted to utilize one moment's time by fully surrendering unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord is worshipped with this prayer: Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagat Ditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namah. I offer my respectful obeisances to the Supreme Absolute Truth Krishna, who is the well-wisher of the cows and the Brahmins, as well as the living entities in general. I offer my repeated obeisances to Govinda, who is the pleasure reservoir for all the senses. A devotee of Krishna is very much attached to Brahminical culture. Indeed, an expert personality who knows who Krishna is and what he wants is a real Brahmana. Brahma Janatiti Brahmana. Krishna is the Parabrahman, and therefore all Krishna-conscious persons or devotees of Krishna are exalted Brahmanas. Katmanga Maharaj regarded the devotees of Krishna as the real Brahmins and the real light for human society. One who desires to advance in Krishna consciousness and spiritual understanding must give the utmost importance to Brahminical culture and must understand Krishna Govindaya. Then his life will be successful. Name Brahma Kulat Prana Kula Daivan Nachat Majaha Na Shriya Na Mahirajyam Na Daras Chativalavaha. Maharaj Katmanga thought, not even my life is dearer to me than the Brahminical culture and the Brahmins, who are worshipped by my family. What then is to be said of my kingdom, land, wife, children, and opulence? Nothing is dearer to me than the Brahmanas. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet. So herein, Maharaj Katmanga is giving the importance of Brahminical culture. We follow Brahminical culture. Our prayers are from the Brahminical culture. Our clothing is from the Brahminical culture. Our way of life is from the Brahminical culture. This is the culture of Krishna. Not that we concoct. Well, we'd like to dress the deities in blue jeans and a, flannel shirt. I think in India there's some story. They did that. Shastra, I think you told the story. Once they dressed the deities with a cell phone, Western clothes, hip Krishna, something. And the villagers were waiting to beat the pujari to death when he came off the altar. I think he stayed on the altar. And is that how it goes? This is a culture of Krishna. We celebrate the culture of Krishna. Such a beautiful culture. What the Western culture has to offer, as Sura Prabhu said, cell phones, Western clothing, guitar, love songs about someone who you're not going to be with in 6 months. All kinds of rubbish culture. Krishna conscious culture, so beautiful. Such beautiful Krishna art. Such beautiful deity worship. Such amazing, colorful clothing. We were at Rath Yatra in Vancouver, and people were amazed. You're such a colorful group. They were just, all your people are so colorful and youthful looking. I said, well, some of us are not so youthful, but it may appear that way. It's actually a new kurta, but the rest is pretty old. They're attracted. Even one time, Temple Bhajan band was going out. Some yogi came up to me and said, how is it, Sura, that you always go to all of these events and there's always these amazing, beautiful, colorful women? I said, that's Krishna's arrangement. Someone actually one time said in the Sikh Dharma, Advaita was there some years ago, that they announced Temple Bhajan Band is here at the, Golden Bridge. There were hundreds of people. There was some big event and we were opening. They introduced us, and the Sikh leader said that Temple Bhajan Band is the proof that God exists. I was like, wow. That is a compliment. And I kept listening. He said, because where else would you get 3 fat, balding, overweight, old, creepy-looking men with 3, well, there were 6 of us, 3 young, beautiful, amazing, cheerful women. He said, that's the proof that God exists. So I thought, well, that's not exactly the proof, but we'll accept the sort of compliment. We smiled, along with everyone else who was laughing. I'm not sure with us or at us, but laughing. So this is such a beautiful culture. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada said that historians will note this period of time, how the world has changed. In 1977, when Srila Prabhupada was in the north of India before retiring to Vrindavan, on the train ride with some leaders of our movement there, Prabhupada said, by cultural conquest, people will note that this period of time, how the world has changed. The first time in the history that this Western culture, deity worship, during the kirtan, the Mataji was doing the worship of the deity. Where else is there so much beautiful deity worship? And amazing, she did the Matsya Mudra. Everyone knows the Matsya Mudra? Let's learn together. First you go right hand over left. Do? Did we do this before? Left hand over right. Matsya Mudra. This we didn't make up. 5,000-year-old mudra I saw her doing on the altar. Very beautiful. What other culture? The Karmis, they have their mudras, is nasty and sickening. We can't even discuss it in a room of saintly people. But the Krishna conscious culture is so beautiful that our mudras are bright and enlivening. Let's try that one more time. This is every time, Bana, you're in Vrindavan, for every article of worship, is this the mudra? For purifying the objects. Okay. Say that in English. Okay, this is one of the main mudras. Archita will teach us the rest after class. But you know this mudra, we've tried it on the highway. Someone gives us a mudra and yells out a mantra that we can't repeat. We yell Hare Krishna and give them Matsya Mudra. First exit, they're gone. You try it. Not if you're a driver. Passenger can try it. The culture is so beautiful. You can use Krishna culture in every circumstance. But we shouldn't be proud thinking that we have such a wonderful culture and the non-devotees have no culture. Actually, we're very fortunate to be able to have this culture. And it's our business to give the culture of Krishna to everyone, this Brahminical culture. We don't give a watered-down version just so people can accept. Prabhupada came to Butler, Pennsylvania so many years ago, 50 years ago, and the Swami there that he had first met in New York, I forget his name. No, the Swami. Maybe one of the original Swamis. No. Prabhupada stayed at this, at the ashram. He said you have to use a spoon and wear Western clothes and eat all of these different things. And Prabhupada said, I didn't come here to follow them. I came here to make them follow me. And Prabhupada didn't change anything. He came in dhoti, you can see the pictures. Even the zapatos that Srila Prabhupada wore, they were those Indian little boat shoes. I don't know what they call them. Amazing Brahminical shoes. Prabhupada would not change anything. And he didn't know what was the Western world. When Srila Prabhupada saw the snow everywhere in New York, he hadn't seen snow being in Bengal and Vrindavan. And he thought someone had come and whitewashed everything, painted the fences and painted everything white. Prabhupada transplanted this Brahminical culture. Therefore, it's our business to stick strictly to the Brahminical culture. Prabhupada wore dhoti and kurta, we wear dhoti and kurta. Prabhupada taught the Matajis to wear sari and choli, Matajis wear sari and choli. Even one time here in Los Angeles, Srila Prabhupada was here and the devotees were coming back from Sankirtan. And one Mataji or a few Matajis were wearing a dress that was not a sari. And Prabhupada asked, why our women are dressing like this? This is a fact. Prabhupada made one remark. So we have to be very careful to keep this Vedic culture, to keep the Brahminical culture intact. At the same time, we don't think holier than thou. Previous verse discussed sometimes when people are born in the Krishna consciousness movement, they have a much greater chance throughout their life, they're taught. But we don't think, I'm holier than thou. We're all good and you're all bad. Fact is, it's true. Krishna consciousness is good and Maya is bad. But as devotees, we know that we have to keep humble, sincere and very humble to serve the spiritual master. We don't think automatically, I'm saved. I'm going to the spiritual sky and you're all going to hell. The Christian view is, because we believe in Jesus, we're saved. And because you don't believe, you're all going to hell. Isn't it? You heard it? We believe in Krishna, but the proof of your belief, you have to serve Krishna 24 hours in a day. It says in the previous verse, the most intelligent person, therefore, uses every moment of his life to render loving service to the Lord. We don't just think, I'm saved because I chant a little bit. Or I served in 1970 and 71, and I go away until 2012, come back to the temple, and now I'm saved. Of course, if you take complete shelter of Krishna, we are saved. But we have to serve the Lord throughout the life because we never know when death will come and what the results of our past pious and impious activities will do. There's a story in the Puranas. I was told by Gargamuni from St. Louis, and he called me yesterday to tell me where it was. I wouldn't repeat the story till he pointed out in the Shastra where it appears. There was once upon a time a little bird. The bird was flying here and there and somehow chanced upon the agent of death, Yamaraj. Yamaraj saw him and gave him a very peculiar look and smile. And the bird was freaked because he knew Yamaraj is the agent of death. What's he smiling at me for? This is too much. So he flew here, he flew there, trying to avoid what he was thinking could be the inevitable. A very peculiar smile from Yamaraj. Finally, somehow or other, he met Garuda. And Garuda said, "My dear friend, what's your problem? Why do you look so forlorn?" And he said, "I saw Yamaraj. He gave me a very funny look and then laughed. He said, I think he's after me. I think possibly I'm going to die. I have to save myself from death." So Garuda said, "Hop on my back. I will take you to a place where Yamaraj can't reach you." He said, "Thank you so much." He hopped on the back. And Garuda took him to Loka. You know the story? When he got to Loka, he left the bird there and Garuda continued on his way. Loka is so far away, such a distance, but Garuda thought he'd be safe there. When Garuda came back, he saw Yamaraj. Yamaraj said, "My dear Garuda, why do you look so exhausted?" He said, "Well, I just took this bird all the way to Loka. It was a very long journey." And Yamaraj said, "Oh, was it a little bird that you took from this particular place?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, yeah, he just got eaten by a mountain cat, by a dangerous cat in Loka. He said, "Well, he was really worried because you made a peculiar face and were smiling." And Yamaraj said, "Yeah, because I was wondering, how is this little bird going to get to Loka? So we don't know when death will come, and you can't escape it. We may try in so many ways to escape our demise, and some little bacteria can enter the blood, finished. Or we think, I'm saved, I'm going back to Godhead. I'll tell you an anonymous story. One devotee approached me at a Rath Yatra. He formerly had been a spiritual master in ISKCON. But for years and years, he gave it up and was no longer involved in that way. It's a personal story. There was a lady who had been initiated by him. She had joined the movement, and in 1976, when Srila Prabhupada did his last initiations, she was born in 1960, she was only 16 years old. So the temple authorities thought she's not old enough to take initiation. Just wait another 2 years when you're 18. Of course, in other places, there were devotees initiated in their 15, 16. Vaishesika Prabhu was extremely young. Devadeva Prabhu was 12, 13. He got initiated by Prabhupada. But this particular leader said, you wait. Srila Prabhupada passed on from this world to the divine spiritual world, Goloka Vrindavan. And the woman became initiated by this particular guru and engaged in very nice devotional service, Sankirtan, preaching work for so many years. From that time forward, she remained in Krishna consciousness. The guru, unfortunately, somehow or other, left shortly thereafter and was gone for years and years and more years. So his question at one Rath Yatra somewhere was, she now considers herself Srila Prabhupada's disciple because she accepted Srila Prabhupada in 1975-76. And she considers herself a disciple of Prabhupada. So I answered, she is, in a way, because our sampradaya is a shiksha sampradaya. We all have the great fortune, even if we weren't initiated by Srila Prabhupada Diksha, for one reason or another, that we're receiving shiksha, instruction, from Srila Prabhupada, and he's all of our shiksha guru. He's giving us the real meaning of Krishna consciousness. And our line is a shiksha line. Just like Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Jagannath Das Babaji is not Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Diksha Guru. The succession goes. Jagannath Das Babaji, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's his Shiksha Guru. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was given Diksha initiation by someone else. There is a song of the Sampradaya, and throughout that song, the disciples are known as Shiksha Hoy, that one who received Shiksha, then he's the next. So I said, you can tell her. She's Prabhupada Shiksha. She can consider herself also a disciple of Prabhupada. And unfortunately, this man said to me, anonymously, but who is accepting her karma and who has to come back to get her? I thought for a second it was Rath Yatra somewhere. And I thought, where are you going that you have to come back from? At the time when you leave this world, where are you going that you have to? She may be going to Vaikuntha and you'll still be here. We don't know what the circumstance may be. I didn't say it. I kept quiet out of great respect, but I'm saying it now philosophically, that what makes you think, what makes us think, I'm going to the spiritual world? Like a Christian believing I'm going to heaven. Or one class of men that think we're the chosen people. If you're born in our particular religion, you have a soul. But if you aren't born in our religion, you don't have a soul. In my neighborhood in Niles, Illinois, Morton Grove, Illinois, there was one family that had that philosophy. Unfortunately, it was my family. We were the only Jewish in all non-Jewish community. Glenview, Illinois. Very non-Jewish, whatever they call it. Something like a bee, I think they call a wasp or something. But I was taught when they bused us to the religious school that only the people born in our religion have souls. The other people have no souls. And I thought, Chris is such a nice guy. Jeffrey, all these people, how could they have no soul? But Mordecai has a soul, who happens to be a bum, just coincidentally. Zipporah has a soul, but not Elizabeth and Sherry and all these kids from school. I couldn't understand. How could they say that? So we shouldn't be like that. Oh, we're the chosen ones. We believe in Krishna, so we're going to heaven. And the rest of y'all going to hell. We don't know where we're going. You may go to heaven. You may go to hell. Narayana paraksarve nakutaschana bibyati swarga pavarga narakeshu api tuyarta darshanam. A devotee is Narayana para. We're prepared to go wherever Krishna sends us. We may have to go to Kumbhipaka, Krimi Bhojana, Sukra Mukha, Loka Loka. We don't know. We can't assume I'm such a good devotee. I did Sankirtan for 2 weeks. I'm going back to Godhead. We may do Sankirtan for 50 years. It's not guaranteed. The guarantee is that we'll be given a chance to do more service. But there's no guarantee that we're going back to Godhead. Therefore, we should constantly engage in service and be humble. To know that if I don't engage in service, if I don't chant, then certainly I'm not going to the spiritual world. Certainly I'll remain here in the material world. So we should be very careful not to think I'm going to have to come back here and save all of you. I have our BBT members. They depend on me. I'll have to come back to deliver them. No, chances are they will deliver me if they're sincere and serious. Because I'll probably end up running and hiding and in Loka Loka, and the big cat will come after me. No questions asked. You can run, but you cannot hide in Krishna consciousness. Krishna knows. And he's taking note of all of our non-devotional activities. He's noting, of course, our devotion. But he also notes all of the envious and sinful activities that we perform. And those do not deliver us to the spiritual world automatically. I even asked some devotees, you know, when I pass away, prop me up in the bed and put a big bag in my hand and get all the nonsense out of the window, throw it out the back window. One Mataji said, she was there, she said, you can't fool Krishna. I said, I'm not trying to fool Krishna. I'm trying to fool you. I said, you prop me up, put a bead bag, get a picture, put it on Instagram, put it on Facebook. Sura at the time of death. You can't fool Krishna. Krishna knows. So we should be very careful to stay strict and adhere to the culture of Krishna, to Krishna consciousness service. And we'll be safe that even at the time of death, Krishna will note our devotion. All glory Sri Guru and Gauranga.